So we're calling ourselves 2 a.m. Reckonings. Welcome back to our loyal listeners. Yeah, and Amrutha and I were having this conversation a couple of days ago about what to call this. And we landed on this idea that 2 a.m. Reckonings happens to be what the initial it happened to be in the title of the initial episode. And the whole idea is like what you're talking about after the night out when you're with your friends, your roommates. We were college roommates, so it was roommates in this case. But when you're just like chilling on the couch with a bag of Doritos and you're like unpacking what happened that night, what happened that week, it's just like a no barriers dish session.
That's totally right. And the thing I love about 2 a.m. conversations that we used to have is that they could be about something like super deep and profound, but also frequently were about just nonsense, like random things that we noticed, random things that were on our minds or things that were happening in our lives. And I also love, I think we described ourselves as geriatric millennials. Is that right?
Yes.
So as geriatric millennials, our 2 a.m. reckonings occur much earlier at 6 p.m. my time, 4 p.m. your time. So fully embracing that we do not stay up until 2 a.m. anymore these days.
Totally. And you know what else I was thinking? And maybe I mentioned it when we were talking, but I think I used to feel like I needed that veneer of alcohol or something to be able to be like totally myself or unfiltered or just like to be able to sort of like share real opinions. And I'm thankful that I don't need that anymore. And so, yeah, we could have, I mean, obviously, if I have a drink or a couple in me, the conversation's going to be a little bit different. But if anything, it's probably going to be worse than if like it's just just a regular like where we can have it over coffee or water or wine or anything. It's gonna the same energy. I think I'd like to think that we're now in a place where neither of us is afraid to speak our mind, no matter the time of day.
Yes, my beverage of choice for this conversation is a cherry lime LaCroix. Is that how you pronounce
Ooh.
it? LaCroix? How are we saying it these days?
I think it's like a tomato. I think I say LaCroix, but
LaCroix. Oh,
LaCroix. No, that is definitely not the way you say it. I think it's LaCroix. That's how I say it, but then other people say LaCroix. So
LaCroix. Yeah. I mean, this was on sale, buy two, get one free. So I feel like it's more appropriate to just call it LaCroix. Sounds like the right, the right pronunciation given the deal.
that's not flavor. I've never.
Yeah, it's my first time. It's good. It's good. It's like, it's good. My favorite is still the orange. That is my choice of LaCroix, but cherry lime's not bad.
That's good. I have plain water, which feels really boring. I keep meaning to stock up on sparkling water because I think it would make like having a beverage that's non-alcoholic more fun. I'm not really into mocktails or like phony Negronis or anything like that, but I do love a super bubbly sparkling water.
I'm into sparkling waters. I really want to get into tea. That's like my new thing. I want to have like a ritual around tea. I have so many tea bags from all over, different flavors from travels and other things like in my pantry, but I have not yet fully gotten on the wagon. But I have been really good about hot lemon water, which I know you are a stan of. And I've been really good about having a glass of that every morning for the last couple weeks, and I'm into it.
I'm religious about it, and I get it from my mom, who is also religious about it. And it's now to the point where if I'm even going somewhere overnight, I'll bring a lemon with me or
I've seen you unpack a full lemon from your carry-on bag. Yes.
or if I'm somewhere where I can't bring a lemon with me, or I've forgotten if there's a bar or like the hotel bar or restaurant or whatever, I'll like take a couple wedges of lemon. Like I'll even like put them in a napkin or something and then take them up to my room because I have anxiety about like, well, where am I? I don't want to. If I'm in a hotel, I don't want to call room service and or like order a lemon hot water with lemon. You can do that.
You
I
can
mean,
do
it's
that. Yeah.
valid, but then say you do that and you get hit with like a $25 charge. So I I I don't want to do that.
No.
So
Sealing the lemon is the responsible thing to do. Yes.
yes, I agree. Exactly. But it is really it's a great ritual. It's Ayurvedic, right?
Probably. Yeah, it's Ayurvedic. It's supposed to, well, I think it's supposed to be good for your digestion. I think that's where the Ayurveda comes
Yeah.
in general, drinking warm water is supposed to be good for the body over cold beverages. So we'll see. I will report back on whether my life noticeably changes as a result of consistent hot water lemon drinking, but here's to hoping.
Yes. I actually I totally think it will. It's supposed to like kickstart your metabolism. I mean, yeah, who knows how much any of this how documented any of this is, and even if it is documented, whether you personally see the benefit, like that's really I think in the end all that matters with these sorts of rituals. But yeah, I really like it, and as you know, I am someone who takes ice cold water and puts it in the microwave for 30 seconds to a minute because unless it's, 100 degrees outside, I'm not drinking ice cold water.
Not
It's
drinking cold.
yeah.
I mean, it certainly can't hurt, right? It's water regardless. And so it's good for hydration purposes. So I figured it's better for me to start with that before I have my cup of coffee. So that's what we're on.
There you go. So we've come up with, actually you came up with a couple of rubrics and we are in the first one now, which is a cool thing. Wait, hold on. Is it a cool thing we did recently?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the category. Yeah. So we have a rubric. We're going to try to cover three different topics, but we'll see kind of how the conversation goes. But yeah, the first one is a cool thing that you did recently.
And
Go
so,
first.
well, no, well, okay. I think it wasn't, it was both of our cool things, but coming up with a name for our show here. But yours, you went to a
Oh,
music.
yeah. That was your cool thing. That's right. Okay. You get credit for the name because you came up with it, but we both agreed that it should be our name.
There we go.
And yeah, my cool thing recently was that earlier this month, I went to the National Civil Rights Museum, which is in Memphis. I'd never been before. Have you been there?
I have not. I've never been to Memphis, and I've heard such good things.
Yeah, I was there. I was in Memphis for just like an evening and then the next morning. So I didn't have a lot of time to explore. I definitely need to go back. But the National Civil Rights Museum, which is in the Lorraine Motel where Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated, they've changed or transformed that area into this really incredible civil rights museum with like exhibits that are super interactive, multimedia that go through so many critical stages of our nation's history. And of course, with MLK Day next week, it felt extra kind of important to be there this month. But it also made me just think about how there are so many places just in the United States domestically that I have not been to that I think like a place like that is something that everyone should go to. You know, it's just so important. So yeah, you should go to Memphis, go visit the National Civil Rights Museum. It is really, really cool.
I really want to. I really want to. And it's true that there are so many unsung museums, even in Houston. What is that museum that we went to, like the
The
contemporary
Minnell.
art? Yes. That is so cool. And just wandering around that area, the architecture.
It's beautiful. I think people are just I feel like what can happen is, especially in big cities, folks can be good about going to museums like in LA, New York, even in Houston. I feel like, my friends and I go to museums somewhat regularly. But I feel like it's less common. Let me think about this. Yeah, like I feel like it's less common in the US to like travel for the purpose of seeing a museum. You know what I mean? I feel like that
Yes.
doesn't happen that often.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. And I think also, especially you're coming off of Japan and going to the Kusama Museum, which
Mhm.
people literally fly across the world to go to that museum.
It was incredible. It was small, really small, outside of Tokyo. But it was a very cool museum. Yeah, we when we were in Japan, we were able to go to some really fantastic like art exhibits, museums. But yeah, it was cool going to one in Memphis. And it turns out Memphis is an 8.5 hour drive from Houston. That is a long drive, but it's not like insane. It's doable in a day. So yeah, it was cool to go to one here that I hadn't been to before.
How many times do you stop on an 8.5 hour drive?
It's a good question. Well, we had the dogs with us. So, but they're so good. Actually, probably didn't really need to stop extra because of them. We stopped probably 3 times. Uh,
Wow. Okay. Okay. So like every 3 hours, pretty much.
yeah, like probably a gas bathroom stop, lunch stop, and then another gas bathroom stop.
I guess that's not. I mean, it is totally doable. I don't think I've ever taken a road trip like in my adult life for the longest is probably LA to San Francisco.
Oh, really? That's like
I
I mean, I
know.
guess that's a road trip, but that's like a very short it's a 5-hour drive or something?
It ended up being something like 7 hours because of traffic. Uh
Okay.
and it was also with Nick Hill and a bunch of our extended family because we were going up to San Francisco to we were this is when we were planning our wedding. We got married in Carmel. Half the car got off at Carmel and then and went to go, check out a hotel for the wedding venue. And then the other half kept going up to San Francisco to
Mm.
eat at this Indian restaurant that we thought we might be catering from.
Ah,
So it ended up being it was it's not that the journey did feel long, but it was also the company was good. We were expecting this like you've driven 7 hours essentially to eat at a restaurant and you're expecting an incredible meal and it was just like not
totally.
it was not it.
That
It
is
was it.
yeah, that is a very, very long time to drive for a meal. I mean, I'm a fan of road trips. Obviously, like not for everyone. Company matters. I'm not the type of person that audiobooks during road trips. I wish I were, but audiobooks make me like too tired to drive. So if I'm
Yeah.
solo driving, which I have to do for work sometimes, like it's like I basically just spend 6 hours listening to top 40 and like 90s and 2000s pop music. But if I yeah, it works. It keeps me awake and energized. But yeah, I also it's really nice like because we have 2 little dogs, like rather than finding dog care for them and all that, like it's fun. They're really good in the car, so they like to just come along and then yeah, we get like a little Airbnb or go to a dog-friendly hotel and we have like the packing down now in terms of what all
Yeah.
we need to bring and where we put it in the car. So, we got a good system.
That's good. It's good. And also for a place like Memphis, I'm guessing that you want a car anyway. Like you want to be able to not have to rely on like Uber and Lyft and like to be able to get around.
Yeah, yeah, and it was a last minute kind of put together thing, and it was around New Year's, so we didn't even look into flights because we knew we wanted to bring the dogs along, but, it was part of a bigger road trip, but yeah, I think for a lot of places where you need a car, it becomes cost effective, but also just depending on the flights, the time it takes to get to the airport, the time it takes to, like, rent the car, like, all of that kinda adds up, so you might only be looking at like a negligible difference and the
Yeah.
convenience of like having your own car there is obviously really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. All right. So our second category is the thing that we're loving right now.
Yes.
And I am rediscovering my love for going to the movies, like physically going to the movies, going to a theater. Nick Hill and I saw Marty Supreme, not this past weekend, the one before. And first of all, I mean, theaters, I'm far from the first person to discover this, but like theaters now versus like theaters when we were growing up versus even like pre-COVID, it felt like kind of rare to you kind of had to hunt down like that movie theater that had like the lounge chairs and like the recline, like the really comfy seats and the good concessions. And I know that the movie industry has been hit by all many catastrophic changing like like paradigm shifting sort of trends, but um see, at least in Los Angeles, capital of movie making in America, pretty much every theater, if you have the regular seats, it's like a historic beautiful theater, and there's a reason that
Mhm.
you're still have the seats that, we had 50 years ago. Most other places have these like incredible recliners where you're just like kicked up there with your feet up and you've got your I mean, I don't know. I might get in trouble for saying this, but I bring my own popcorn and
Wait, what?
I like to make popcorn with nutritional yeast.
Oh my god.
And I put it in a Ziploc bag and I bring it to look, yes, movie theater popcorn is great. I'm not so strict that I will not have it, but I really like the popcorn I make, and I wanna
Okay.
have it. I'm watching a movie.
Well, first I wanna try this popcorn because I kind of think, like, movie theater popcorn is the best of the popcorn, so if
Yeah.
you make something that's supposedly better, I'm very curious. But also, like, that just it's not hot, like, you're having it out of a plastic bag. I don't know.
I know. It is I mean, I am. I'm kind of compromising. Um, I will buy other concessions. I'll get candy. I'll get gummy something at
Okay.
the theater. I'll usually I bring my own water because I'm like fundamentally opposed to buying water.
So you're basically an Indian auntie. Like, this is what my mom used to do as when we were kids, is we used to, like, bring our own snacks. I'm outing my mom now. Bring our own snacks, like fruit snacks or whatever, in a purse because it was preposterous that we would pay $4 or whatever.
You can't pay like $8 for a bottle of Aquafina. Like that's just like who is going to sign up and say, "Yes, let me go do that."
I mean, I am a popcorn Diet Coke girl in the theater. Like, that's my beverage of choice there. But I saw Marty Supreme too in the theaters. We went to a theater in Houston. It's a historic theater. It's called the Historic River Oaks Theater. And it's one of those theaters where not only does it have like the big comfy chairs, I don't think these chairs like lounge, like they don't recline, but they're super comfy. But they also have it's like table service. The
I
staff
love that.
comes to your seats
Yes.
and the popcorn refills are unlimited. So that's
Oh,
kind of a cool little perk. But yeah, it was nice seeing it in the theater. It was a chaotic movie. It was long, but it was cool to see in the theater.
it was chaotic and it was long. And that was also, I think that if I had seen it at home, there's something about it that gave me, and I said this on social media too, it like gave me massive anxiety, which I think it's supposed to because it's just so high octane. There are so many different things happening, a lot of which are like not even they're all like the bathtub falling through the ceiling. I'm like, what does this have to do with the plot? But it does get you in this place where you're like, oh my God, what's gonna happen next? You're kind of on the edge of your seat, even though it's not like a traditional sort of thriller or suspense film like that. But had I seen it at home, it would be so easy to even to like pause and like step away and whatever and like
Mhm.
feel, like locked in that way. And you're just not in the universe of the movie. When the lights go down in the theater, you're really just like, okay, it's like I'm sitting here. I'm sitting with other people who are laughing and being shocked and gasping and
And
you
you're
know
on your phone.
yeah, you can't be on your phone, and, if you step away to go to the bathroom, then you're like, oh my God, what am I going to miss? Like, I was like, oh, I'm sure I'm going to have to like step out at some point. I'm going to miss some of this. And like, no, I did, because it really keeps you in your seat and on the edge of it for that long. And I,
Totally.
like, as amazing as it was the other night to sit on my couch and watch people we meet on vacation, and I absolutely loved it. There's just nothing like going to a theater and just being in someone else's universe for that fixed amount of time.
Yeah, I love going to the movie theater. For me, movies in generally, but especially the theater, I really prefer like matinee or daytime shows
Yes.
because I get too tired and will fall asleep, especially if I'm in a lounge chair, if it's anything after 6 p.m. But I like the matinee shows too because first you're awake, and secondly, like the theaters aren't too crowded. So you usually can get seats in the center, not too close. And it's kind of nice to like walk out of the theater and it's still like bright out. So it really feels like you were in a different universe for those 2 hours or 3 hours that you were in the theater. So yeah, my choice is matinee show in a theater with like loungy chairs. And I also really prefer like I don't think I'm gonna make it like a regular thing, but I think like the powerful dramas, like, or really elaborate action movies, those are the ones that I want to see in the theater. Comedies, light rom-com types of things, I'm like, I think I want to see that on my couch.
Totally. Yes, I think that, I think the last movie before this one that I saw in theaters was The Naked Gun, actually, with Nicola and my mom when she was here to visit. And that, I really liked it because that was also opening weekend, and I love the experience of laughing at something with other people. And it wasn't like a totally packed house, but the theater was like full enough. And yeah, I don't know. It was sort of life affirming, like, despite the many, many differences that we read about all the time and that we know about, between all sorts of individuals. Like, at least we can come together and laugh at Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
It is Liam Neeson, right?
Liam Neeson. Mhm.
Okay, I'm like
It's
mixing
not Liam Hemsworth.
Liam Hemsworth. I'm thinking of like the guy who played the original was in the original Naked Gun.
Oh, Leslie.
Les That was Leslie Nielsen, right?
Okay, we have to
Who
stop.
knows?
We're getting it
Whatever.
all wrong.
Yeah, the new one. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
It is Liam Neeson, yeah.
it is Liam Neeson. Okay. So it was really fun to have that communal experience. And yeah, like I remember like seeing when I saw Barbie in theaters too, that was a really profound
Mm.
kind of, and that I saw with my mom at one of those historic theaters in LA. I can't remember what the name was, but that was also opening weekend, and we went there because that was the only place that still had tickets. And that was also really cool to see it in like a room full of other, like, 90% women. And yeah, I'm like, look, I know it's a lot more expensive than queuing something up on the couch, but I think, yeah, for certain movies, it's just worth it.
It's totally worth it. So you think you're gonna make it a thing, like start going more frequently?
I think I'm gonna make it. I like you said. I mean, I think that there are certain movies that I want to see in theaters, like that I want to see right when they come out, and I don't want to wait for them to become
Mhm.
available on streaming or some other service. Um, Actually, I wanted to see that Aziz Ansari movie. That started. It's him and Keanu Reeves. Um,
Oh, I don't
Keanu
even know
plays
about this.
God. It sounds really funny, and it was in theaters, and I was, like, out of town during the week the time it premiered, and I think it's gone now.
I've not even heard of it.
What was
Yeah.
it? Good Fortune. Good
Nope,
Fortune.
haven't heard of it. Wow, that's kind of
I think it's gotta be coming to something soon.
unfortunate.
It's on
Hmm.
YouTube, 5.99.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
not bad.
Dates.
Um,
Yes, more movie dates in 2026.
I love it. And the thing that I am loving is vision boarding. Well, specifically my 2026 vision board, but I am a big fan, probably 2 years, 3 years now, 3 years of vision boards. So the first one I did was in 2024 at a vision board party with friends. This year I just did it on my own, last year too, on PowerPoint, just put together images. But I do vision board.
I don't. I have in my head sort of like big goals, but I don't. I think I have probably that time, that other, not last January, I think it was the one before, where we went to that place in
Oh
Austin,
yeah. Hmm.
and we kind of did. I don't know if we journal about it, or we did
We
some,
did
like,
some goal planning. We did some
yes.
goal setting. Yeah, we journaled. Yeah, I mean, vision board here. I'll see if I can find mine. I like it. Well, first because it's a mini creative outlet, since usually I'm just looking at words and
Yeah.
PDFs and Excel spreadsheets all day. So it's kind of fun to like look at images. Um,
Oh,
you can kind of see.
wow.
Yeah, it's
Wait,
fun.
that's really cool. That's really, I see Hola, I see be intentional, love is action.
Yeah, and then there's yeah, it's in just like, pictures that are probably hard to see through the screen, but
That's
pictures like
cool.
nature, travel,
Oh, I
home
like
interior
that.
design. Yeah, I think I really like it. First, because like I said, it's fun. It's kind of creative to look at photographs and pictures instead of just like normal spreadsheets and writing. But also, it's kind of fun to compare like year to year. So some of the what images on mine I had last year, and I made no meaningful progress towards like achieving whatever was related to that image on last year's vision board. So I'm continuing to like aspire to have it be part of this year. So an example is I have one of those like Indian spice, the little spice
Oh,
containers,
yeah, what are those called?
dabbas, or I don't know what, like,
I think my mom calls it a spice box, or
yeah, exactly. And everyone, every Indian mom has them. Anyone who cooks Indian food uh,
yeah.
traditionally has it. And it was supposed to represent me learning how to make a few of like my favorite Indian dishes from my mom. And I
Oh, yes, yes, I remember you
didn't
telling me about that.
didn't make meaningful progress on that. So the picture just moved on to this year's board. But yeah, I'm into it. And I didn't do this as much last year, but this year I'm gonna try to like check back in on it, reference it. It's also kind of fun it sort of creates like a feel, like you can kind of see where your mind is at. Cause try to find images in different categories, whether it be travel, professional goals, health goals, wellness goals, whatever. And you kind of
Yeah.
can kind of see what you want your year to feel like. So vision boarding, I think you should do it. I think you would really like it.
I like the idea. So it's funny because when you say vision board, what I was initially thinking of was like, I I like almost like an old school. For first, I had a picture of a dream catcher. I don't
Oh,
know why. And
okay.
then and it was almost like a sort of like super woo woo, like hippie-ish, like kind of, I don't know. I had, not that that's bad, but I had like that kind of connotation of like it's actually, and it's like a piece of paper, like a physical, like almost like a whiteboard or something.
Mm-hmm.
You're like sticking things up. But actually, the way that you presented it, where it's a collage of images, and it could live on your phone, and it could just be a reminder of like, maybe this is somewhere I want to travel to, or I want to like prioritize, like I want to cook more. I want to yeah, like a farmer's market or something like that. Or yoga, or like who knows whatever it is, or certain phrases or art or things like that you find inspiring and just want to do more of. Yeah, I know, I like that idea. I think it's cool. I've got like, I have my journaling habit that I've been thankfully good about keeping up with for over a year now, which like first thing in the, like, I wake up brush my teeth, all that, and then have my lemon actually, with my lemon water in the morning, I've got a notebook that is just the notebook that I use to, like, write 1 page in the morning, and it doesn't have to be about anything specifically. It usually ends up being about the day before and things that stood out. But, it's not a vision board, but it has been good at helping me sort of, like, um, helping me be I guess, accountable to myself at, um, at stating goals and things that I want to do, not necessarily, like, tomorrow or the next day or the next year, but just, like, I don't know, it's just, like, a good sort of pulse check,
Totally.
and especially when especially when I'm not feeling great, I think it's, like, there are times where I haven't been feeling great, and I've gone back and I've read entries from when I was, like, soaring and been it's I don't know how helpful it was in the moment, but I was glad to have that record there. Like okay, you did not always feel oh, no, hold on, is it frozen? Can you see me? Ah, it could be my internet too, you know?
Oops. Sorry.
Oh,
I
okay.
lost you or you lost me or something happened.
The internet can't handle us. Yeah, I was saying it's, like, useful to have that record, when you're feeling a little bit down of, like, "Oh, I haven't always been like this. Here's, like,
Totally.
yeah, like, a documented reminder of how I was feeling, a week, a month, or whatever it was ago." So,
That's
um,
like a more honest, accurate reflection than your own memory sometimes can be. So,
yeah. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. So, but yeah, no, vision boarding, I like the way that you did it there.
yeah,
Um,
I'm into it. I feel like it's not too late still. We haven't even gotten to 2 weeks into January. And it's kind of fun to I think it's fun. What I haven't done yet is to physically print it. That's for me, like,
um,
having it next to my desk or something can also be like another source of inspo. So,
well, maybe that is something that I can put into my planner, which brings us to our third category rubric here. Something that we're figuring out. What I'm figuring out is I'm definitely a Google Calendar person, and I think I will be. I'm going to continue to be just because it's, when you're interacting with other people, when you have meetings and someone's sending you an invitation, like, yes, I actually like the record of it as well. I know there are people who get annoyed by calendar invites, and I'm like, you know what? If I want to be on someone else's calendar too, so that if they see it coming up and they're like, "Wait a minute, no, I can't do that." Let me, like, at least tell them and cancel so that it's not
I
just
don't
me.
yeah, I don't know a single person who can run their life without a calendar invite. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, I it's mainly creative types that I know that are like, "Oh, like, just, like, call me at that time." And I'm like, "Okay, but it's still going in."
It'll be a
I
calendar invite.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
because otherwise I'm not gonna remember. But, I'm curious about how this planner that, I really like the Substack Blackbird Spy Plane, and they recommended this planner whose name I wanna make sure I get it right. It's, oh, wow, how do I pronounce this? Marjolaine Delhas. She's I think it's a woman. A Dutch industrial minimalism meets weekly ritual. Marjolaine
Hmm.
Delhas transforms calendar into quiet beauty, bold numerals against generous white space each week, and exercise in restraint. I'm really excited to open this thing and see what it does for me.
Yeah. So wait, did you order one?
I did. I ordered one. I think it should be here hopefully later this week. I'm very much a sucker for that, like new notebook, like what, like this could change everything. Like, this planner could change everything.
Your whole year. Yes.
Yeah, it could make me super organized. I could be this newly efficient person. Like, I'm gonna be less chaotic. The qualities, like the potential that I imbue in these inanimate objects and their ability to make me, like, totally transform me is, it's really I can't overstate how much I do that.
Well, I actually I lie and in real time modify the thing that I'm figuring out too, because I'm actually trying to figure this same thing out. So I'm gonna like latch onto this idea of planners because I I used to go hard for a physical planner. I used to love like going to Office Depot or Staples or wherever or ordering it online, getting the really pretty planner. But the thing that I found that made it unmanageable is that I have my work Outlook email and all of my work appointments in one calendar. Then I have Google is naturally where, personal appointments and other things, if I go to the dentist, they send me a reminder, it pops up on my Google Calendar. And so what I found with like the physical notebook is that I was it was all duplicative. Like I was like having to write, work things, personal things, and like my own things into it. And so then it almost became unmanageable because I had three different calendars I was trying to operate. And necessarily it would actually make me less like I would put something on one calendar and if it wasn't on the other, I would miss it. So it just became too cumbersome, but I've been looking for a way to kind of organize everything from meal planning to like habit tracking to calendars to just like goals and lists. And I know there are a lot of apps. I just downloaded an app called Notion that does this, but I also find the apps to be sort of overwhelming because it's just like it's again a lot of work and the idea is to streamline. So that I'm still trying to figure that out too. Right now I'm using a lot of Google Docs and then I have my work stuff on my work calendar and then I have Google Calendar. I don't think I'm going to go to something hard copy. But
I
maybe
mean,
you'll convince me.
to be honest, it's just kind of it's really hard. It's just like a lot of stuff to manage.
And just carrying a physical planner around can get to be a little cumbersome, whereas you always have your phone with you. Do you see that? Do you see my segue? I don't know if it's a segue, but I'm covering for you since you're coughing.
I know.
Um,
I did like that segue or the cover. Yeah. No, it is really, it is, and that's another thing, like, I'm already if I'm going out of town or if I'm even for one night, I'm taking my journal diary. I have another little notebook that I use for, like, if I'm interviewing someone or if I'm, like, going any sort of work-related thing, there's another notebook that comes with me. Now I'm gonna be taking this planner with me, like, eventually it's, like, how many things I would love to be a person who is super streamlined and is just going everywhere with a carry-on and just, doesn't need a lot of stuff, and, as I'm going back into my love of analog reading, like reading paperbacks, reading hardcovers, and writing in these journals and doing all the, like, stuff with pens and paper, I'm like, "Okay, now I'm become like, now it's like the stack is just
it's growing.
more stuff."
It's it reminds me of remember when we were in middle school, we would have our textbooks, middle school and I think maybe high school too, but definitely middle school, where we would have like humongous textbooks and we would
Yes.
put them in our backpack with our binders and our our spiral notebooks. And at least I maybe it was just me, but I'm like I almost always had like my backpack was this big and it was almost like you like
Yes.
lean over. It's such a ridiculous sight. You'd see like these like 4'8", 80-pound like kids
I
like
know.
leaned over carrying I don't know, like 20 pounds in their backpack, like a quarter of their body weight in
Yeah.
textbooks.
It was
And
crazy. Like, and it didn't I was all like, those textbooks too, when I think about how like, the length of time between when they were published and when we were consulting them as literal, here's your history book that was, like, last updated in, 1984, and now it's 1994, and you're supposed to just like, "What is going on?" Yeah, and it weighs 20 pounds.
we're
And
just
you're just like, "This can't
lugging them.
be the best way to learn."
No, and I don't think kids these days have that same experience, but I'm imagining that's you, that you have your humongous backpack full of journals and
Pretty
notebooks and your laptop, and you're just, like, hunched over carrying, like, 25 pounds of stuff.
literally. Except now it's like my Dagny Dover carry-all that I'm, like, trying to, like, shove it into the overhead compartment without, like, my shoulder buckling and, like, hitting the person next to me, and, yeah, it's an issue. What can we do? Like, we wanna be less dependent on devices, and yet we we still need the devices. We just wanna use them less. I don't know.
Exactly. That's so true, because it's like you can't get none of this is replacing your laptop. It's just replacing certain things that you were doing on your laptop or your phones. You still need your phone, you still need your laptop. Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see this planner once you get it, and then to, like, kind of hear how it works for you, because I abandoned the physical planner game 2 years ago, and I don't know, maybe I'll get back if you convince me.
Yeah, hopefully I'll have it for our next episode, our next 2 a.m. reckoning.
Yes. Also, if anyone has recommendations for planners or apps for planning, let me know, because I really want to find something that's easy.
Yeah, I would love to hear more about apps for planning too, because I think it's really hard to I'd love to be able to organize like recipes I want to cook, workouts I want to do. Yeah, there's all these things in different apps and different pockets of the internet, and there's no one system to organize it all. I don't know like where, like a Google Doc or like something in your notes app, but that becomes another mess. So, yeah, maybe
Exactly.
has some good intel on that.
Yeah, I'll let you know about how Notion goes. It looks promising, but like I said, it also feels kind of overwhelming to learn it. But right now, I'm just using Google Docs, so we'll see.
Better than nothing. Better than
Better
nothing.
than
At least you're
nothing.
trying. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's 13 days in. We'll see.
All right. Well, love catching up with you as always.
Always. This is so fun. We will do this again soon. Maybe next week, maybe the week after.
Let's do it. I can do it next week. We'll figure out.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Love
I
you.
love you. Talk to you later.
Bye.